my thankful meal, my seafood platter from Phillips, as you can see, and my drink, and of course a side of homework. All right, how you doing, family? I did not come prepared at all with nothing. I decided that I was going to fly out. Well, this was an opportune time for me to come back to Atlanta. I flew in through Delta. I didn't do any type of uh, planning to do any vlogging, but y'all, that's what I am. I might do something on TikTok. I don't like posting when I'm out of town. I like to post it when I'm back in town. But yes, I am in Atlanta right now. I'm at Phillips Seafood Restaurant here in the airport. What you, what I initially showed you is the what's that? Blue crab margarita. Blue. Yes, a blue crab margarita for my Maryland. Yeah, so I'm here. I'm going to. My son is going to pick me up after work, and I'm going to go to my hotel room. I'm gonna spend some time with my son. I'm just gonna hug him for a good 10 minutes, just like right there, right here. But I won't be able to do it in the car when he picks me up. But once we get to a spot, we're gonna hug it up and spend some time and talk about some things and um, be thankful together, I guess. And then I'm going to pick up my stuff tomorrow, pick up the truck tomorrow. Um, Determine if I'm gonna need to get I might maybe get a trailer if I absolutely, I'm gonna assess once I get the truck. I'm gonna be honest with you. And maybe be able to connect with a friend that they rent those U-Haul trailers out, so maybe we'll see. If I don't, then I'm just gonna go to the closest one if I assess that I need to get one. But I feel like I won't need it. I feel like I won't need it, but we will see. Anyway, that's all. Um, I don't know. Did I cover up? I'm going to know in a minute. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Bye. Okay, so it's like 3 o'clock now. I had Phillips. I spent almost $100 on my Thanksgiving dinner. What I had for Thanksgiving. Baby, I'm good. And I'm okay with it because I did go to a seafood place and it was in the airport and it was going to be pricey. It just was what it was. But guess who deserves it? This chick here. This chick here. Okay, this is a work trip that gets a little bit of pleasure because I get to see my son. This, I said this afternoon, today and hopefully tomorrow before I leave. Um, yeah, so I'm here in Atlanta. I'm still in the airport. I won't attempt to make my way to my hotel. I'm gonna give it another 30 minutes or so before I go ahead and catch the train to Peachtree Center. I'm hoping, but I have Thanksgiving dinner. I'm very satisfied. I am full. Um, I mean, what I say? What do I say? Um, Except for I'm kind of like torn. I feel like soon as I decide to go ahead and hit the train, my son will be saying, "I'm on my way." Um, nah, you go ahead, go home, clean up, and I'll go ahead and make my way to the hotel. Hold on. I already checked in. I Travel suggestion. If you travel a lot, shoot, honestly, if you travel a little bit, I would suggest you choose a hotel line that you like, get their app. So whenever you travel and you need to stay in a hotel, you use their app. I personally like Hilton brand. Oh no, there's my brother. Talk to y'all later. Bye. Okay, just like any travel vlog, I'd be amiss if I didn't give you the room tour. Okay, this is the Hilton, and it's either Midtown or downtown Atlanta. It's the Hilton official. So I'm on the 8th floor. I decided to do the 8th floor because I didn't want to be too high up. It goes up to like the 27th floor, 28th floor. I ain't trying to be that high, and I'm not going to be here that long. I want to be able to quickly get my ass out here. So, and plus I'm only here for one night only, one night only. So, let's get into this room tour, okay? Okay, as soon as you enter the room, you have the closet to the left with the hangers and ironing board and safe and all that good stuff. Okay. The bathroom is fairly small especially for a Hilton. But this Hilton has been here for a while. It's the shower. As Tony Baker was saying, with the murder curtain. Okay. Now, what I noticed, I came in straight in to use the bathroom. So there was something in this bath. Someone took a dump and didn't flush. So I thought it was like rust, but it wasn't. So here it is. So you got body lotion if I need it. So, the typical stuff. Extra storage down at the bottom. Okay, I chose a 2-bedder because I wanted to. Did not know that this was a conjoining room. If I would have known that, I would not have gotten this one. But again, it's one night only. So yes, it's 2 beds. The ghost chair, as Tony Baker calls it. Okay. And of course the desk and the television. Okay. Again, had I known that I would have had a conjoining room with a door, I sure enough wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it. So this is, okay, so we got a curtain that won't open. This isn't cool. So this one, for some reason, will not open. I don't think it is an electronic one. It's just broken. Okay. Ooh, so you got an elevator on the outside. Weep-de-doo. This is my site, but from my window, it's a fairly big window. But here it is. This is my view of Atlanta, which is okay because I'm only here for one night only, one night only. So I didn't come for the view. Okay. This isn't a vacation. This is work. So that's it. Quick overview of the room. Let me lock my door and and call it a day. All right. I'll probably come back to you when I'm on the road or packing up or whatever the situation is, but bye. Okay, as I lay here in the Hilton on Cortland Avenue here in Atlanta, Georgia, this is my review. I would never ever come back to this place unless I'm strictly doing business. No, I don't want to say I'll never come back to this place. It was generally comfortable. It is pretty in a good place because it's right here by Peachtree Center. Okay. Um, but I probably, if I wasn't here on business, like if I was here for vacation or to see family members and stuff like that, or whatever, if I'm going through town and I was staying at a Hilton brand hotel, this would not be my option. Okay, this is perfect for someone who's here for one night only, staying and leaving. Okay, or someone who wants to pay for everything. One of the things that there's a couple of things that I was disappointed at. One, they did not have a shuttle to go from the airport to the the hotel. Even though MARTA pretty much brings you right here, it doesn't bring you right here. I still had to walk a block away to get to the Hilton. Okay. It'd have been much more convenient if I had a shuttle. The second thing that they did not have that most Hilton brand hotels have is the free breakfast. The free breakfast, or the complimentary breakfast, or a continental breakfast. They don't offer you a daggone thing. Okay? It's not free parking. So if I was driving through Atlanta to get to Miami, or I was coming from Savannah and going west, or whatever the situation is, or Albany and I'm going through Atlanta, the city of Atlanta, I would not stop here at this hotel. They don't have any free parking. They don't have any shuttle to get to and from the airport. They don't have breakfasts. And I thought maybe it was rust in the toilet. I said, "Oh, this is really an old bathroom." Okay. But when I flushed the toilet, because I really had to use the bathroom, the spots that I thought were rust were gone. So that means is there was still poop in my toilet. So I don't think they cleaned the toilet well. Okay. I pray every time I sat on that toilet and I put tissue down like I was in a public bathroom, because that told me that they did not clean that toilet. Um, but outside of that, it was decent. It was one night only. But if I was staying here for longer than this, I would check out today and go and find another Hilton brand, like a Hampton Inn or something. I would not stay at this hotel. You could tell that it's dated. It is old. It needs to be updated badly. Um, the bathroom is small, if you ask me. But outside of that, and the view sucked. But I picked my room, so that's my fault. But outside of that, everything else is nice. They have restaurants and stuff and bars and stuff downstairs. If you into spending money, yeah, come here. Come to the Hilton. But if not, go find one that's, I think ones that's in the suburbs and further out. They'll probably have those amenities. They'll have free parking. Like the further you go out, you go to the Hampton Inn in Sandy Springs or something like that, you're gonna get back to the continental breakfast at the very least. And I mean, that's just my opinion. But when I booked it, I did not book this room based off the amenities that they offered. I booked this room because of the location. Period. Now, if you're here and you want to go to the Centennial Park and all that, get the I believe there's a Hampton Inn or an Embassy Suite, which is also Hilton, over closer to Centennial Park. This hotel is not that close to Centennial Park, nor do they have a shuttle or anything that's going to take you to it. Okay. You're gonna have to have money to get wherever you're going. And the only reason this is pretty decent is because this is my old city. You know what I'm saying? And I know how to kind of go get around. You know what I'm saying? But I would never do this again. I would never. If I came back to visit my son, it would not be this Hilton. It would not be this Hilton. I'll probably go to the Westin first. And as far as downtown, unless all the hotels down here don't give you complimentary breakfast, none of that stuff. If all the midtown hotels are like that, I wouldn't. Now I can understand though. I can understand why they don't do the breakfast. And I don't understand why they don't do the shuttle. They ain't that close to the train for them not to have a shuttle. And they could, and they got the space where they can drop people can be dropped off. Okay, so they could, but they're not. Um, as far as the free breakfast, the trying to monitor to see which homeless person is coming in there trying to eat breakfast in the morning. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. So they could be just end up in Atlanta. Midtown is strong, and in what I'm noticing too, in most major cities, homelessness is strong in the Midtown area. It just is. It's very strong in the Midtown area, or not necessarily downtown, even though they're there too, but that Midtown where it's like we living in the city, type of situation. Um, yes, they're heavy out there. So if they served, complimentary breakfast, I could just see homeless people wandering in, and then that's just more work for their security downstairs and so on and so forth. Nobody wants to possibly be sitting next to, and I look, my homeless people. If you really don't have nothing, you don't have a phone or a computer to see this. So I'm gonna say what I said. Now, if you have family that's homeless and you ain't helping them out, I'm still saying what I'm saying. Nobody wants to sit next to a homeless person because 9 times out of 10 they stink. Can I keep it real? Because where you taking a shower? If you're homeless, where you taking a shower? Okay. Nobody, most likely, that's the main thing. Most likely they stink. If they just look ratty, they could be someone in the hotel living that you're not living in the hotel, but staying in the hotel, and that just could be the style. But if they stink, and they when they look homely, dirty fingers, and you don't want to be around that. No, no custom, no. I know I don't. So if you have a homeless problem in the area, I can dig you not wanting to serve breakfast. But what does the restaurants do? I'm just saying. They serve food. It's never free, but they serve food. Well, I know. Well, I guess they seat them and stuff like that. I guess with certain places, you know. But anyway, that was a little bit of a letdown. I was hoping that maybe I could get me um, a coffee and a bagel or maybe a waffle or something like that. They don't got shit. They don't got shit for us. Oh, and another thing, the bathroom door. If I sit on the toilet, I can't close the door. I would have to. It's where I have to literally have to stand to the side to close the door, and I'm gonna have to stand to the side to get to the bathroom. Another thing, another pet peeve of mine is I hate, even in apartments, those small bathrooms where the tub is right next to the toilet. I mean, I grew up with that. I don't like it though. Okay, so if I wanted to take a bath, I'm at eye level with the toilet. You know what I'm saying? That just doesn't give me. I'm not comfortable looking at something. pooped in earlier. You know, even if it's clean. I mean, it helps if it's clean. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I haven't in a long time taken a shower. I mean, taken a bath in a hotel. Okay. So, that part. So, yeah, it does sound like I'm really complaining about this place. I mean, like I said, the location is perfect if you just here on business and you are working in one of these offices that's connected to these hotels. Perfect if you're doing that. But if you're looking for amenities, the only thing you're not given anything at this hotel. You got to pay for it. It's not a part of your fees. You got to pay for it. I probably could have paid for the complimentary breakfast, you know, because Hilton does have different levels that you can come in on. You know, like if you want this and that and the parking pass for a week, this is how much it's going to cost for this room. And that's cool. Okay. But to stay here, at least a continental breakfast, some danishes and boiled eggs and coffee. You don't even offer coffee. This is a whack place. It's absolutely not a Hilton Atlanta. Absolutely not. And just tear the building down and build a new one. But you need some new stuff up in there. Positive. Again, location. If you're working in any of these buildings, it's a great location. People can get to you kind of easy. It's on a one-way street. Um, it is not far from the MARTA. And Peachtree Street is like a block away, which is a major strip. Okay. And it's not too far on a nice day to get to used to be a very eventful place, Five Points. Um, you could take a short train stop away to go to Centennial Park and the CNN Center. Like that type of thing. If Freaknik was here, this would be a decent hotel to stay in to sleep. That's it. Um, the beds was comfortable. They look clean, but I don't know if I could trust it because that toilet wasn't clean. Um, I mean, they did provide me some coffee in, in the bedroom with the coffee maker, but I'm gonna save myself the disappointment with that nasty ass coffee since I'm only here for one night, and I'm gonna go to Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or somewhere and get me some decent coffee. Okay, if I'm gonna spend money, I'm gonna spend it somewhere where I enjoy myself. For me to get up out of this bed, I did um, turn in my Friday work that I need to turn in early in this morning. Yeah, now I have to go and get my truck, load the truck, get some stuff that I might need for the truck. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest with you, I really am concerned. I expect because most places want you to do credit card. I'm thinking in 2024, that most people don't have a credit card and that I'm using my debit card. I have enough money to cover what it was told to me on Expedia. But what I'm gathering from Atlanta, and I'm now starting to see why I might be happy outside of Atlanta, is, and this may be a Keith Lee experience from someone who stayed in Atlanta for years is I may get charged more. I'm concerned that I might get charged more for using a debit card. Oh, well, we need an extra $300 if you're going to use your debit card. Okay. So I have it if they need it, but I don't want to pay that. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to pay it. I don't want to pay that extra 300. Now, I'm okay with it if I get it back once I return it in on the other end. I'm cool with that. Um, let's see what we do and how we're going to make this work, because I do have a concern about getting my stuff out. I mean, I feel like this, but I have personal concerns about it, but I also know that I really, really, with all my heart, believe that this is the time that God wanted me to come and get my stuff. So it's going to work out. Like, they may charge me, but and I mean, hold $300 or something like that. I pray that it's no more than that. They may hold that, for in case of any type of, like, if I damage the vehicle. But I think I got the insurance anyway on it, to cover my rental. And if that's okay, I mean, like, I think I have what I need. I hope I don't need to call in any help from the family to get this. But we shall see. Anyway, y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Okay, y'all. Auntie here. And I'm going to tell you right now. Hold on. There we go. It wouldn't be a venture if it wasn't me, child. So Audible called. Audible. I have to put some type of there. Audible. The Audible called is I couldn't rent the truck the way I wanted to rent the truck, because I needed a credit card. So the mad scramble to find another way to get my stuff from Atlanta to Arizona, and I landed on U-Haul. I feel like I feel like U-Haul has become Thanos to me, because it's like you couldn't accept your own failure. And what does it do? Lead you right back to me. Because I was trying to avoid taking, I was trying to avoid paying the expensive cost of U-Haul, but there was a better choice, which if I had known that it was that was what it was, I would have done that from the giddy up. And I think the Holy Spirit was trying to tell me that, because I had that feeling that something was going to go wrong with the truck rental. I was trying to wait for my food, but that doesn't seem like that's happening. But I end up going back to U-Haul and doing the U-Box, which is $1,000. It's a little over $1,000 less than if I were to get a U-Haul truck. It's about $300. It's about $500 more than me renting the pickup truck, which I feel is probably the best choice. What I'm doing to get my stuff to Arizona. So I am right now. I done found my way from the Hilton over to the Marriott, and I stopped at Starbucks to get food, because the Hilton don't give you nothing. You pay all that money, you don't get squat. Okay? I had to pay twice as much as what I paid, 2.5% more. No. I ended up paying like over $200 more to keep the room that I was in at Hilton. So, as I said before, I would never stay at that hotel if I was staying to visit. If I have business to take care of, perfect location for that. But I had to, and I spent more. And I'm thankful that I had the money to do it. And then I spent more to get a ticket back to Arizona, because once I get the U-Box picked up, delivered, and I fill it for tomorrow, I'm hoping, because I have my flight at 6 tomorrow, I'm hoping they'll drop it off like in the morning, which I need to call and make sure they do. Because if I have to cancel that flight, I might have to cancel those reservations. Hold on. Is this? That's me. Okay. So I'm here at Starbucks, and I'm going to sit here and have my beef and Gouda and drink some of my coffee before I hit the streets to the storage unit. I also am going to have to call U-Hauls to see what time they're going to have it dropped off. If they can drop it off early in the morning so that I can pack it and then get on out of here. Get from over there around 4 so that I can get to the airport and on my plane. That would be awesome. So yeah, Audible. So staying one more night. Going through U-Haul. I found the overpass. There's a bridge from my hotel, Hilton, to the Marriott that takes me to the MARTA. So I'm going to go over there. I'm going to get me a MARTA card, and I'm going to hit this public transportation to get to my storage. So here goes nothing. I'll talk to y'all later. Okay, I'm at day 3. I'm at the Starbucks up the street from the storage facility that I have my stuff at. I'm just waiting for U-Haul to call. Can I be honest with you? I really think that they gon' fuck around and find out that I'm not this nice person. And if they don't call me soon, talking about they gonna be dropping it off at a certain time, I'm gonna have an issue. So, that's all. We'll see. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call them shortly, as soon as I get off here. So, all right, bye. Hi, family. So I am here at Atlanta Airport, Hartford-Jackson International Airport, and I've been here since, I want to say, like 7, 8. And I'm hanging out here until I have a flight at 5:30 in the morning. So they probably going to start boarding around 4:50 or 4:30. You know what I'm saying? Loading everybody on the plane so we can get on out of here. One thing that I can tell you about Hartford-Jackson that needs to be improved is their charging stations. Okay? As you can see, they have chairs that have charging, but you see how that light is flashing? That means it's not working. Those chairs have charging stations, but they have chargers where you can charge your phone and everything. That one isn't plugged up. And they have those. These two, those are not plugged up. So I say that they could need to improve their charging stations. It's better than the Delta side. I'm going to tell you for a fact. Like, they have the same type of chairs over there. None of them was plugged up when I came here on Thursday. So if my phone was dying, I was just out of luck. Out of luck. Okay? They need to do better. They don't have any outside of the TSA. Like, before you get to TSA, you're hard pressed to find anything that's working. A plug that works. Now feel like their strategy is they don't want non-travelers using it. But I say, this is an international airport. There's people that is coming in and out of here that does business and need to use their laptop or their devices and things of that sort. Things of that sort. Here, and if you got some people, first of all, if they're homeless, they probably don't have a phone. For real, for real. Because you have to have a home to have it delivered to. You have to have a home unless you pay prepay, whatever. But more likely than not, they don't have a device to charge like that to the charging stations in the airport before the TSA. Okay? People are using their phones for their ticket, their boarding passes. Come on, man. And phones die. You do better. Y'all sitting about building up the outside. Y'all need to be working on the inside too. Okay. Outside of that, the other thing that I didn't really like about this one is they just treated us general flyers like they put baby in the corner. They sent us over to somewhere way on the side in a secret entrance, and they had us standing there for it was pretty quick. I could say that. I mean, it was longer than it was in Arizona, but then the way Hartford Jackson's terminals works is you have to go through TSA first. Everybody have to go through TSA first, whether you're first class, TSA check, whatever, you got to go through that first. And then once you get into the past TSA, you take a train to get to everything else, to all the terminals. Well, the way they had the positive, and say what we're going to do is we're going to do positive stuff, and I'm not going to always leave you with a positive point of view. The positive is I went through that TSA and it landed me right where I need to be, right where I needed to be. Okay, as far as my packing up and everything, I think I did a video earlier today about what I had to do and packing up and everything. I should have taken a picture of the box, the U-box that I got. I looked at that, I said, hey, there's no way I'm going to put this whole storage unit in there. And I pretty much got everything in there. There were some things I need to let go of, and I did have to call in reinforcements to tell me, don't take no doubles. If you got a wagon there in Arizona, there's no need for you taking that wagon with you. I'm gonna have 2 wagons, but I like the wagon I had in in here in Georgia. I like that wagon. I really like that wagon. The one I have at home, it was more expensive and it's huge and I love it, but it's not like my little red folding wagon. It's not like that one. That was so petite and pretty much can go anywhere. I like it. I mean, it's not tiny, but it's definitely smaller than the wagon I got at home. Okay. And I think it's a little more sturdier. Okay. You could tell I got it from Walmart. You know, we black people ain't we not patronizing Walmart anymore. Okay. And I'm more than happy to not do it. I like Target better anyway. And in Arizona, Target is the shh. Okay? It's the shh. Let the people they want to serve, let them serve them. They can have it. They can have them. I like Target anyway. The Walmart was always my like if I can't find it at Target or at Home Depot or whatever I need, it's that Walmart has everything and I'll go there. I can't say I've never done it, and I can't say that I wasn't excited about a new Walmart that came through. So that part. Last, Well, oh, I was talking about the U box. I was able to pack almost everything that I wanted to take, and some things that I could have left, but I didn't have to because I was able to fit it on there. The only thing I left was my, the twin bed the twin bed. I mean, and it's a good one. Twin bed, box spring, frame, headboard, footboard, nice, twin. I couldn't find anybody to pick it up, so I had to leave it. Um, the other stuff my son took with him, and I hope he can use some of what I left him. And he got the mirror that goes to the dresser that I let him have, which goes with my bed set that I got. Um, but nobody wants those problems. So that was a good dresser, or that it is a good dresser that he has, like that old school, the way our parents used to make. So I'm surprisingly doing. I feel like, though I was a little down about the fact that it didn't have happen the way I wanted to. I really was looking for that road trip, but as I began to think about it, and as God tried to, he's because I asked him like, what's going on? Why am I making all whatever? But his plan happened. I know for a fact that he wanted me to come and get my stuff this during this weekend, the Thanksgiving weekend. It was going to happen. I knew he wanted me to do it. I just knew it. Okay, I made a plan and it didn't work out. He tried to tell me, you want to check that out and revise your plan. But I also feel like if I would have done it, I might have canceled everything and said, y'all don't even take, I got to get a credit card. I would have, or I might have tried to figure out how to get a credit card. You know what I'm saying? So that I can rent the truck. But I feel like everything has worked out. The positive in it is everything worked out. Lesson, double check, y'all. This is a tip too. If you make plans and you rent stuff, make sure that if you're going to take it out of state, call the rental company. Find out, can you do it? Do I need a credit card? Or can I use it with my debit card? Is there an extra cost to use my credit card? Can I drive this vehicle across state lines? Okay, can I do a one-way rental without, certain things? Ask questions, confirm, confirm, confirm. Okay, um, that's what I would say. I didn't do that, but I feel like if I did, like I said, I would have counseled everything and just stayed home. And that's not what I wanted to. I wanted to end this contract so that I'm not bound to, and it goes up every year too. By the way, that rent for that storage goes up every year. You think I'm going to be paying $200 in 2027 because I can't get my stuff from? Absolutely not. So everything worked out the way God wanted to do it. I had to do an extra day, as I said before. So the blessing, the positive point of view, the positive POV is the fact that I had the money to do it. The Akara in the early millennium would have been still stuck here, sleeping in the airport until I can get money up to, or I would have been calling my brother to help me out or something like that. And I did it, and God worked it out. He showed me how to maneuver and do the thing. Now I'm just praying that I can make the payments, when it's time, and I can kind of push the time off a little bit before they ship it. I don't want them to ship it all right away, so I'm gonna do that once I get home, and I will come back to you all when I'm in Arizona. Okay, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Peace. Okay, family. Auntie made it home safely. I'm in my apartment. I've taken a shower. I'm about to take my medication and take a nap, and then get up and get my worksheet done so I can turn it in before midnight tonight, and do a couple of participation points. Um, uh, yeah, get some participation points. I need two more, I believe. But yeah, I made it in. I am tired. Okay. And the only reason I'm awake, I mean, that I was awake during the flight, is all the money I spent on that flight. I was getting every amenity in that economy seat that I was going to get. And that is watching them free Wi Fi movies, even though I fell asleep on it, and got my coffee and my drink. Let me tell you, America, at least this flight, that coffee was weak as hell. That was like, go to sleep, baby. I should have got tea. That's what I should have got. Okay. Um, but I got here on time. Good old American, late as always. Now they had people running from one to another to get to where they need to go, to their connecting flight. But one of the cool things I noticed that they did is those who were all the way in the back that needed to get on a flight that was boarding at the time, is they did something where they can go back and kind of like check them in to their next flight, so that all they have to do is go to their flight, just get there. I hope they arrange for them to get a ride on a something. But yeah, and this time they really did, because when I did it, when I was coming back from Vegas going back to Atlanta, and I had a connecting flight in Dallas, and I missed the plane. They tried to tell people, let the people that has a connecting flight get off. They didn't do nothing. And then there's some selfish people. Selfish people. They knew they didn't have a flight, and they was getting off like there wasn't people in the back that need to get off. And disobedient. They said, I mean, we weren't even at the gate. We were still taxiting. We were still moving to the gate, and the people was getting their bags. Though I understood why they broke that, you know, request, so that they can get off and get there. American Airlines be making you miss your connecting flights. Tip: if you're going to fly American and you need a connecting flight, first of all, if you're going to fly American, do it direct if you can. Okay. But if you absolutely have to, because it's the only flight, that's the only way you're going to get to where you're going. Sometimes you just have to do a connecting flight. Try to get one with a layover of at least 3 hours or more, because American be late. And then you're going to end up having to get on another flight that might not be there until the next day. And I'm telling you, because that happened for me. So that's a tip if you're going to fly American. Um, Fly direct, or have make sure that your layover is for at least 3 hours, just in case they get there late. You're not rushing and running through the airport trying to catch your flight. Okay, that's it. I will post this when I post it, and I will talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Bye.